All right. Got everybody unmuted here. Welcome to another live video by D-Boss Firearms, the King of Camo, and with John from DOA, Deputy Director of all the bullshit.
That's his actual title, and everyone should call him that.
I hate you all.
Well, you had to have a fancy title. Here it comes with a badge, but we haven't seen it yet. John, we really appreciate you joining the live with us, and we are going to see you in Knoxville, Tennessee, August 7th, the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th. We're going to see you all those days, right?
Yes, you'll see me all 4 of those days. Wow.
Good deal. So, John, you want to kind of say what GOA, maybe there's people out there that don't know what GOA is. Maybe just kind of give a quick synopsis of what GOA is and what the convention is for the members.
Yeah, so GOA is Gun Owners of America. We're the only no compromise gun rights organization out there. We fight every day, every way to protect the 2A. I sound like Alex Shea. If you guys have met him, you know that's what he sounds like. But yeah, our whole goal as an organization is to restore the Second Amendment to the way the Founding Fathers wanted it and put ourselves basically out of a business. That's our goal. We sue the government often. You may have seen our patches, protect the puck, abolish the ATF, all that stuff. Goals is the Gun Owners Advocacy and Leadership Summit happening August 9th and 10th for the general public in Knoxville, Tennessee. This is our second year of the convention. We've got a ton of great companies, including Glock, SAR, Taurus, EOTech, Palmetto. I used to say Anderson, but they're no longer around. Henry, Caltech. There's 230 vendors as of today who are going to be at the show. So, which is actually way more. It's actually like 40 more than we had last year. I think we were at 175 last year. So if you look at that map, it's way more filled than it was last year. Super excited. We've got tons of great speakers this year. We've made some changes for last year for those who came. So super excited about the show this year. Super excited to come back to Knoxville and see all your smiling faces, except for Ryan. I don't know.
That's rude.
He smiles too much.
Yeah, he smiles too much.
It just means I have things in my brain I'm working on.
Yeah, well, Nate can wear the Ranger panties. You are not allowed. I'm banning you from Ranger panties.
I'm
this
gonna
year.
wear them, and you can't do anything about it. This is freedom. This is about freedom, and you can see my thighs, so and you'll be fine.
The whole county could see your thighs, brother.
That's the point. You gotta have some sun, man. Come on, it's hot outside.
Yeah. So, John, before we jump into any more about the convention, do you have any news on the big beautiful bill and where that leaves us with suppressors?
Yeah, so suppressors right now are still in the NFA. They are down to a $0 tax stamp. That being said, as soon as that passed as soon as that was signed, GOA has already filed a lawsuit to remove them from the NFA because we've gotten rulings that the suppressors are protected by the Second Amendment. We've seen that SBRs are protected by the Second Amendment. Right now, the $0 tax stamp, as far as I know, is going 90 days after the quarter. So we're looking at probably a December timeline before the $0 tax stamp. And I haven't talked to our Fed guys, so that may have changed. We are suing to get them removed. The biggest hurdle with us suing for them to be removed from the NFA was the tax stamp. Now that there's no tax stamp, there's no tax, so they can't use the tax implications on it. We can now sue to have them removed. This is the closest that we've had to a large win since forever. I mean, the bump stock case, the pistol burst case were all big wins brewing, but this is a huge restoration of our rights. Going against 90 years of tyranny from the 1934 gun control, or the NFA, National Firearms Act in 1934. I'm mixing up my acts. There's so many of them.
Right. So, you've been pretty busy lately. I know I saw you traveled to Alaska, and you're in and out. Are you doing other conventions? Is that why you're headed out, or are you doing personal fun vacations while you're out and about right now?
Well, Alaska was my vacation for the year. We went on a beautiful cruise in Alaska, enjoyed it. Alaska's a beautiful state. Definitely love the state of Alaska. Hate cruises. It's just Vegas on a boat. Totally do not recommend cruises at all. But Alaska, 10 out of 10 recommend. I just got back at 6 a.m. this morning from a trip to a undisclosed location for Goals 26 that I can't talk about just yet. But we went to go tour a convention center in a state that's not too far from DBOS. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
You better quit talking dirty to me, John.
Well, I don't know. It's kind of boring up here, if you ask us, because we've lived up here our whole lives.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But well, that's cool.
You definitely don't got Gatlinburg.
So, part of the other buying groups that I've been a part of, they were starting to. We used to do a different convention center every year. Then COVID hit, and it seemed like these convention centers wanted you. If you were going to host any type of convention there, they wanted you to be there like 6 years. And I think that kind of dwindled down. Is that kind of what happened with Knoxville? Like you were required to sign like a 2-year term to go there, or was Knoxville a specific reason?
So it's kind of twofold. Knoxville was a specific reason because first off, my boss, who's the director of marketing and development, is from Knoxville. So we had boots on the ground for our first 2 years, somebody who could work with the convention center closely. Also, the big reason why we chose Knoxville is because we are a very family-friendly show, and we encourage people to bring their kids and their families and stuff like that to the show. With Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge being so close to Knoxville, it was a natural thing, and Tennessee being the state that touches the most states also is a big reason why we went to Knoxville. We decided early on that we were going to do 2-year rotations, so that way the show is in the same location for both years. Makes it easy on the media guys, the vendors, and the attendees to come back out to the same spot. They know the area, they know the restaurants that they want to try or they didn't try the last time they were there. They know how to get around the city a little bit. It makes life easy for everybody. And that's why we're going to stick with 2-year rotations going further. As we grow the show, it's going to be at each location for 2 years as long as we can hold the dates.
Nice. And so for the convention in the vendors that you have coming, you have some newer, bigger bigger companies coming, right? Like isn't Glock coming this year? They're new.
Yeah, Glock is new this year. Glock supported last year. They were at Range Day for the media guys, but they are new. They are new as a vendor in the actual show. EOTech is new this year. SAR USA is new this year. We also added Global Ordnance, Bursa, Taurus, and some of the mainstays are still there, like Palmetto, Henry, Faxon, Daniel Defense, but we've also added a ton of small, newer companies too.
Okay.
What I really like about our shows, because we have such a low, I like to keep from a vendor perspective, from the industry perspective, most of these shows are ridiculously expensive. SHOT Show, for those who don't know, cost us $50,000 just for our footprint. And that's for everybody. It's $50,000-$60,000 just for your footprint, not counting your shipping of your stuff, your staff, your food, all that stuff. So SHOT Show is a large investment. Same thing with NRA. It's also a very large investment. So we cut our threshold lower than both of those shows, kept it really cheap because we want to see the newer, younger companies come in. I mean, Dave, I was talking to you, Daria.
Don't say diarrhea.
I call it Dira, but Daria is what it's actually pronounced as a newer company, Daria Arms. They will be at the show. That's a new upstart company. We've got a ton of those. So it's not just the mainstays you're used to, which is great because everybody loves the big name companies like the EOTechs, the SARs, the Tauruses, the Glocks, all them. Everybody loves them. But also you're going to see things that you may not know is out there from some of these smaller, more niche brands. Right.
So, speaking of perspective, you're talking from the vendor perspective, but what about like from the average off the street person that's going to attend the event? What can somebody maybe going for the first time, because this is our second year going, so we kind of have an idea about like if somebody's new to the GOA, being a new member or just interested in going to the convention, like what should they expect when going?
So there's a lot of cool things like that we do that is different than some shows. So first off, very family friendly environment. We have a entire kids area for your kids. It's a 50 by 50 spot on the show floor with Nerf guns and coloring books and things like that. So this is very family friendly.
Wait, those Nerf guns were just for kids?
Not for you, bro.
Oh,
not again. After you got stuck in there last year, we had to call the fire department to pull you out. We're not doing that again.
That makes sense. Okay, never mind. Carry on.
So we've got that going on. So but not only do we have all these amazing vendors, the list I've listed off. So those are people you can get some one-on-one talk with a lot of these manufacturers. But we also have great speakers. So John Level's going to be speaking, Brandon Herrera, John Patton, Jared Yanis, Carl Higby's not coming anymore. There's a ton of name. We've got a something going on the main stage all day long to listen to these panels and these talks. The panel that I'm running this year, which I ran last year, is the Firearms Innovation and Technology panel, and we have Bob Faxon's going to be on there, Pete Brownell, Jamie McCollum, the owner of PSA, Adam Renola is going to be on there again. Like, I'm super excited because you are not only going to hear from people who are in the political space, but also content creators and also some of the industry leaders when it comes to things. So there's a lot to do. Not only that, but we have a dinner on Friday night that's hosted by John Level, where we'll have auctions and things like that. We'll also have breakout rooms where you can learn to become a better gun advocate or 2A advocate, how to learn how to talk to your senators and congressmen. We also have state-to-state meetups, so we'll have local meetups so you can meet other people from your state that are like-minded, to hang out with them, make new friends. We're trying to really build a community within this convention.
Nice. And so, what do you think the most value comes from that convention? Do you think it's more about like the 2A rights, or do you think it's more about meeting the vendors and the.
I put in a thing for a U-Haul online. Oh, that's not you.
So anyways, where do you see the most value in the convention for like the average convention goer?
For the average convention goer, it's kind of threefold. So first off, because the way our conventions is set up and everybody is not in the show floor the entire time because we have all the speakers going on. You can go and have one-on-one conversations with vendors, which is great because at most of these big shows, you don't get to have that one-on-one time. There's a lot of the responses I got from the vendors is they had so many great conversations with the attendees. They got to talk about their product. They got to actually learn about their product, or most of them knew about their product going into it and had actual conversations. Then you can go upstairs and go sit in on some of these speeches and these talks from some of these amazing speakers and learn something. And then you also can go to the kids area. We have a concert Saturday night. We have things going on Friday night with the dinner. We've got a workshop for those who may be watching this who have either kids that are college age or are college age. We have an entire workshop on how to get into the 2A space, get a job in the 2A space, how to work get your resume in, how to get into the 2A, even into like the political side. And we're going to have an entire lunch on Sunday with Brandon Herrera. Don't quote me on it. Maybe Saturday. The tickets are on the website. But there's be a lunch for college kids to go sit and learn from these industry guys how to get into the firearms industry. So it's like so many things going on that there's so much value for the $25 you're going to spend to be a member.
Right. And Nate, we went last year for the first time and we didn't really know what to expect. And I think you would agree that this is probably one of the best conventions that we've ever attended. I think even for you, you could probably compare it to SHOT Show. I've never been to SHOT Show. I have no interest in going.
Well, honestly, it's for us as media, it's no comparison to SHOT Show. SHOT Show sucks in comparison to Goals because we actually get a full day with all the vendors as media to talk directly with them without interference. We're allowed to film. We're allowed to discuss things, ask questions. Whereas at SHOT Show, you have to go through a whole rigmarole in order to even be able to film anything. So I think it's a great opportunity for us media guys, us guys on YouTube, up and comers to be able to get to talk to some of these people like Daniel Defense, some of the newer companies like Cox Arms. For us, we don't get access to these guys. So I thought that was a huge benefit for us as media attendees, and very grateful for the opportunity too, because like I said, that just doesn't happen to the small guys like us. We don't get that opportunity. Guys like Brandon Herrera, Grand Thumb, Donut Operator, Kentucky Ballistics, all of those guys, they can easily reach out and talk to any one of these people that they want to. Guys like us have a much harder time. So we were able to make brand deals and talk to people and, get products sent to us to demonstrate and show off on our channel to not only promote them, but to also increase the validity in what we do on our channel. So I think all around that Friday is an amazing part of the event. Not to mention how fun the range day is. We get to shoot all the stuff before we get to go talk about it. So then you actually have something to talk about. Hey, I was over at your booth and I got to shoot this gun. Can you tell me more about it? And we can get a bunch of info.
Yeah, absolutely, John. I think you set it up perfectly when you talk to these vendors and you say, for that Friday, you have to have somebody there from your marketing department. And it blew my mind walking into some of these vendor booths on that Friday, and then they knew who we were, which was fun. But I immediately talked to the right person. Whenever we tried to talk to these brands outside of this convention, it's sales reps that you talk to, and they never, if there's no money in it for them, they don't push your stuff up the ladder. And so the ability to just walk in and immediately be able to talk to somebody that can make marketing decisions for branded content, it blew my mind. I didn't realize how easy that was going to be. I was expecting it to be all uphill. Nobody expecting to know what I was talking about, or we've got to I've got to talk to someone else or email someone else. We'll contact you. It was the easiest event to talk to these brands about being able to get these products on our channel. And so I commend you for that, John. You did a great job on that.
Yeah. So a little backstory on the whole convention. When we were setting it up, before I started at GOA, I've been in the firearms industry for about 12 years. And so I've done the Sports Inc. shows, the NBS shows, the SHOT shows, the NRA shows, all the shows. And the biggest issue that I had when walking around or even standing at the shows is just like you said, you walk up to a sales guy, if I'm at SHOT Show as a sales guy, like, don't waste my time. Like, right. I'm going to talk to you like, hey, you're media. I'd love to talk to you and do an interview, but I'm not the guy to talk to you. I'm going to pass you on to my marketing guy who's standing right here. My goal with the show was to make it great for everybody. Also, from a vendor's perspective, like, I don't get to enjoy the shows. Everyone thinks that I go to these shows, I get to go have fun and do stuff. I'm stuck at my booth. I have to be there. So why I set up Friday the way I did is because I set it up as a vendor media day. It is a day for the vendors to actually go enjoy the show, because they are gun guys at the end of the day. So they want to go look around at the new products, but it's also for the media guys to go walk around. And from the media guys' perspective, like, a day, and it's general public people, we love you, but also camera awareness is not always a great thing. So for you guys to be able to do an interview or talk at a booth without being interrupted or having that person hovering and it getting pulled away, that was the goal, to make the most content, make it most value driven. So, we go from range day shooting everything to then going to the show to go talk to them, and then it's open to the general public. So now, as media guys, you can actually go enjoy the show like you're just hanging out. All your brand deals are done. Everything's done. You can go talk to people, meet with your audience, and hang out. That is the difference, and that's why I wanted to do it that way, because at the end of the day, we want to go value-driven for the vendors, which is giving them one-on-one time with the media and then giving them one-on-one time with the general public, but also for the media guys to get that one-on-one time too.
Absolutely. Hands down, it's the best format I've ever seen. Even, being in another industry and seeing trade shows ran that's not firearm related. This is probably one of the best run trade shows I think I've ever seen and been a part of. So I know we really enjoy that. Nate, last year, was there any brands that really stuck out to you when you attended that you were happy that you got connected with?
Yeah, a bunch of them. Hollow Sun, Victos, Cox Arms, Grumpy GI Gear. There were a bunch of them. And I'm so glad to see this year's list even bigger than last year's. There's a lot of new additions, and so super stoked about that. I mean, it's like I said earlier, it's not every day that we have access to all these different kinds of vendors, especially the new up and comers. And so that was a huge benefit. We got a bunch of cool free products that we got to try out, make videos with, do custom builds with. And, I think, what was that? Sig frame. Who's that from?
Merzon.
Merzon.
Yeah.
We did a dope Sig build with that Merzon grip frame that they gave us, made a whole video around it. They shared it on their socials, and we even got more subscribers from that. So it's a great way to not only network but increase each other's awareness. Have more people watching your content.
Absolutely. I know we've got a list. Nate and I went through the exhibitor list, and we kind of did a 3-star system on guys that we absolutely have to go see, go talk to, guys we should talk to, and then guys we should just say hi to. So, but we're really excited. I mean, we got a long list of vendors that we absolutely want to hit up this year to connect with. So, do you have some?
Yeah, one thing I was really impressed with was there was like we're the goofballs. Like we didn't see anybody else doing anything funny. Everyone else was sitting there going, "Oh yeah, this is that. Oh, and this has got the Canuter 660 switch, you know." And we're the chuckle nuggets running around and acting the fool. But even the ones that were super serious were coming up to us going, "Dude, I don't know how you guys can do that. That's amazing." And it was just like it shocked me how low key everybody was on the media side. Like we didn't have I didn't see anybody getting an attitude. Everyone was waiting patiently to talk to people. Like I bumped into a couple people and it was like, "Oh, my bad." And it's, "Oh, we're good. You know, everyone's all crowded in, blah blah blah." And it blew my mind how much of an actual community it felt like, as opposed to like other places I've gone to where, you know, people are always arguing and stepping on toes and it's pushy shovey. So
You're good.
I mean, that was really cool for me because people were coming up to us going, "Hey, we know you guys," and I was like, "Oh, you do?"
Yeah, what did we do?
I deny everything. What? Oh.
No, my name is Ryan Matheson from the King of Camo.
No, you did it wrong. It's Ryan from the Boy Scouts.
Yeah, the Boy Scouts. Well, that was the other cool thing, though. Too, we got to meet some other content creators,
Yep.
like the Washington law guy, or the Washington lawyer. Dude, he was super cool to talk to. He was over at the Right to Bear booth, and he actually told us that he watches our content.
We were like,
which
"What?"
blew my mind. And he actually gave us some encouragement and told us to keep it up, that we were doing a great job. So that was really cool. You know, there were other content creators there that we got to meet and mingle with who were from across the country, you know, so we all kind of get together and meet each other in the flesh for the first time. Was kind of cool too.
Yeah, it's really it's a great melting pot of content creators. So, but last year we didn't really understand what the convention was going to be, and so we scheduled a flight out on Saturday. And so, John, I don't know if you remember that, but it was like the morning of Saturday, like we were saying goodbye to you, and like the general public was ushering in, and then all of a sudden we had a ton of fans come up, recognize us, and we felt like we really cut it short last year. So this time we are going to be there all day. We're going to be there all day Saturday, and then most of the day on Sunday. So we're gonna extend it as much as we can and hang out and try and meet as many of our fans as we can too. So I know, Nate, you guys are gonna do the same thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
You know, we left on Saturday last year, it's funny because afterwards we got a bunch of messages from a bunch of our fans who said that they were there later in the day on Saturday or on Sunday. And so we we didn't get to cross paths, and so we're gonna keep that opportunity open this year, so that we can meet more of our fans. You know, we're gonna be bringing autographed photos of Ryan and I and Dave and Dustin.
If you want the cool photo of me in my shorts, you got to come see me separate.
Yeah, so if you see us there, definitely come talk to us and get an autographed photo. We'll also have a bunch of cool stickers and swag with us that will be given out to our fans.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing we're going to do a little different this year, and thanks to you, John, we're going to set up a live video. We're going to try and get one in on Friday night, and then we're going to do a live video on Saturday. So during that live video, we're going to do our best impression of war correspondents. So Ryan and Dustin are going to be down on the convention floor, and they're going to be giving out. We got giveaway items, so they're going to be asking attendees some trivia questions to win some products. And then we're going to try and do some giveaways for anybody that's watching the live. So so we're going to try and divvy it up enough that anybody that's attending can win something, or somebody that's watching the live, you have a chance to win something as well. So John, we really appreciate you giving us that space, and more importantly, that Ethernet cable, so that we can conduct the live.
Well, I try my best sometimes.
We're going to have to talk a little more logistics because I got questions, but
Don't ask me questions. I got questions for the convention center on that too. So as soon as I have the answers, I can answer your question.
John's like, I just work here. Okay.
no.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Yeah, and then speaking of meeting fans, you were kind enough. You're going to set up a meet and greet time for us to be centralized and meet our fans. So you don't have to search us out. We'll be probably dead center of the action. So we're thinking Saturday around noon.
Yes, Saturday around noon at the GOA booth. If not there, then we will figure out where to move you, because I have to also confirm that with my boss before I get yelled at again.
Hey, you're deputy director.
Yeah,
You have a badge.
I'm
bullshit.
something.
You just flash that badge to everybody, and we'll get it done.
I don't flash everybody, just Ryan. Shush.
Yeah, that's just for me. Okay, that's keep that
I
between.
look after boys.
So John, do you have any vendors that are coming this year that, because you've seen both sides of it, you're technically on both sides of it. Are there any vendors that you're excited to see at the show?
Well, let me pull up my awesome list of exhibitors that I accidentally closed out of like 20 minutes ago because my computer reset.
Good job.
No, I'm excited to have EOTech there. I'm excited to have like a lot of these bigger names that weren't there last year for them to decide that they want to come. John Bailey, who's the director of marketing over at EOTech, came in and was just walking around the show last year. And he loved the show so much. He was super impressed with it that they came back. But there's some companies that I am excited about this year who are newer. So we've got a ton of new suppressor companies that are coming in. Siege suppressors, Irregular Defense, Razorback Defense, Exigent Defense, and then we also have Live Free Armory coming this year. Jaguar Silencers, there's a new upcoming brand. Huxworks is going to be there this year too. Same with Silencer Co. We had I know last year we had Dead Air was there. They're coming back. But, there's a lot of up and coming brands like Harrington Arms is going to be there. That's a newer brand. Hydra Weaponry is going to be there. That's a newer brand. From the people who may know, Steyr Arms is coming. Microtech is coming. Taylor and Company is coming. We've got our exclusive line with Hyperion Munitions that's going to be there. We've got a rifle. I can hint at it. A rifle dropping with Daniel Defense. That's a collab with us. We also have a PCC collab with your guys' favorite company. High Point is going to do. Is going to be doing a PCC collab. So I mean, there's if I read through this list, there's some companies that are new, like Target Tech is a newer company that is doing some cool stuff with some trade decks of cards to do training with. We've got Stogie Mag. So if you haven't seen the Stogie Mags, they're going to be.
Oh yeah, Stogie. Our boys over at KCI.
Yeah. Rock Island Armory is going to be there. That's new. POF USA is new this year. So there's a lot of big companies that have come in, but there's some of the smaller guys that I've been looking at that have been like super exciting to me. That are like the newer up and coming kind of brands. And if you really like little guns, Goat Guns is also going to be there. So there's so many things like the boys over at D-Boss have been pushing Wooks. Wooks will be there. So We've got there's so many newer brands and also like established brands that are going to be there that I'm super excited about for the boys here that are going to range day. Barrett is also on the show floor as well as going to be at range day.
All right.
There's, and that's the other thing for you guys as media. Like, I was looking at the list of vendors for range day, and I have maybe like 3 large names that you guys know. But there's a ton of small new companies that are going to be there who I'm super excited about because they don't always get this opportunity to show off their stuff, like Xtar and some of the other ones. This is an opportunity for you guys as media to try some of these small and upcoming brands.
I've been following Harrington Arms for a couple of years now. I actually have a bunch of their parts. They make really cool stuff. I'm a huge fan.
Well, I'm excited about Barrett because hopefully we can sign up for the mile shoot for PSA next year while we're there. Because
I've literally been checking every day because apparently they sell out in about 14 seconds.
yeah.
Wait, you have to sign up for that? I just walked up and said hi.
Well, you
you're
flashed,
John
yeah,
Fahrner.
you flashed your deputy director badge. It was like, hey,
Whatever. Yeah. So, are they doing anything similar to that, like a mile shoot for this?
No, we don't have a mile to shoot at. We got like 300 yards. So when they called me about it, I was like, yeah, 300 yards with a 50. Let's do it.
let's tear that crap up. Let's go.
Nice. And then so I noticed too. So we're not on top of the mountain anymore.
No.
We're at a different range for the range day. And so is that? I noticed this. Is it similar to like how PSA sets up their range day? So there's going to be like little mini ranges to walk to, and not everybody's going to be in a line.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
After last year, we're not going to talk about last year ever again after this statement, but after last year, which was a great range day. Listen, don't get me wrong. Everybody had fun. But
More importantly, everyone stayed safe.
that too.
Heat stroke.
Heat stroke was a possibility. But after that, we were like the farm, the people I talked to, the farm aesthetic that was last year's range day was cool. Everybody loved like being on the farm in East Tennessee. It's a very East Tennessee thing, but we're like, we need a legit range. So this one, because we got complaints from some media that there was no Wi-Fi. This has Wi-Fi, and this has an air-conditioned room and indoor toilets, but we also have porta potties for those who want to go like reminisce. So
Who complained about the Wi-Fi, John?
I play the fifth on
Let's
that.
let's drop some names on this this live stream.
They've got so yeah.
Us? Like I had reception the whole time. I don't know what anyone was complaining about.
I don't know what people were complaining about either.
Well, what was the complaint about not having Wi-Fi? Like you can't unless they're not on YouTube, but you're not going to live stream that event because people are shooting guns. YouTube will kick them. So
because people are dumb.
Gotta be the first to upload. Be the first to upload my video.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So John, you got some other stuff going on too. So you're co-host of the State of the Second podcast, and that's for GOA.
Yes.
And then, can you tell us a little bit about that podcast?
Yeah, so that is GOA's podcast. I'm the co-host of it. We are talking with industry leaders about the Second Amendment, about their company. So we recently had Manis on. Before that, we've had Pete Brownell, Jamie McCollum from PSA, Cameron from PSA, AS Design or A&R Design. Sorry, there's so many designs. We've had Ton Jones, who's worked in this industry on both the firearm side and also in Hollywood. It's a really cool way to see kind of behind the scenes of the industry. These guys open up, talk about the Second Amendment, talk about their companies, and we really get a different perspective. The whole thing with the podcast is to humanize the industry, and that is part of the reason why we did it, to humanize the people and the brands and the people who own or run the companies.
Nice. Yeah, you do a very nice job on that podcast. You guys get some really good guests. I don't mean to cover you up there too much, but I'll take it off now. There we go. So that is a link. That link just got dropped into the chat. So if anybody's interested in checking out the State of the Second podcast, there's a direct link right there for you. So please go over, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for the State of the Second podcast, because you do have really good guests on there. That's real pertinent to like the 2A news and updates and what's really going on in modern times. So I like that. And then you also have your own YouTube channel, but it's not just YouTube. You are bigger on Rumble. Is that right?
For Say the Second, we are, but for my YouTube channel, it's only on YouTube. Okay,
so you are the Fully Loaded Reviews. You're also co-host of that. I'm dropping that into the chat as well. So if anybody can see the link there, make sure you head over to John's YouTube channel and give him a subscribe there as well. And what's on your YouTube channel?
So we do gun reviews. It's me and my former director of marketing from 2 different jobs, Kurt, who is the owner of TCRT Targets. So we do gun reviews. I have the latest and greatest from Springfield because they send me so much crap. It's like every other week I get an email from them. Hey, buy this. But it's cool because there's 2 of us. We bounce things off each other. We do funny stuff. We just did a video on the Firearms Island Barrel Glock, which is really cool. If you haven't seen that yet, it's the cheapest Island Barrel Glock out there.
Cheaper than the Grizzly?
Yeah, maybe not the. Is the Grizzly Island barreled though?
Dustin, I don't remember.
In my defense, I haven't actually taken it apart.
Okay. I don't know.
So it's no, we do a ton of good content over there. We are very bad at posting videos. We're actually 13 videos ahead right now, so we're way ahead, but we're just both really busy, and editing is not my strong suit. So but yeah, we have so much fun on the channel. We've been friends for so long. Like I said, he was the director of marketing at Faxon, then at the other company I was working at before I came over to the GOA. So we were doing YouTube over at the other company, and we're like, let's just start our own thing. So we are this close to 3,000 subs. My goal is, and we hit 1,000 subs in under a year last year. My goal is to hit 5,000 subs by the end of the year.
Nice. Well, let's help you hit that. So everybody, head over to the Fully Loaded Reviews and give John a sub. I know that I saw somebody in here did scan that. So maybe you got 1 sub out of it at least.
Woo!
There you go.
And that's I just read a comment in the chat from Tyler. When you put the banners across the bottom, John looks like Wilson from Home Improvement.
Heidi ho, neighborino.
Heidi ho.
Oh, no, that's no.
You must be a 90s kid.
I am a 90s kid through and through.
Yep.
Stop.
So if anybody's got any questions for John, if you can throw those in the chat now, we'll start looking at questions here in just a minute. Nate, you got anything for John? Don't say no.
Well, not really. I think you've touched on pretty much absolutely everything. I just want to say thank you, John, for giving us this access to you. I know you're a very busy dude, and we appreciate your time, and we appreciate you always answering our annoying questions on the YouTube chat channel, and you're always super cool to us, brother, and we really appreciate that. You know, like even at the gathering, you took time to do an interview with us for our main video of the gathering experience, and I think you're probably one of the more knowledgeable people we talk to on what's going on in the firearms world. And so it's a privilege to have you around and be part of our Boy Scouts group.
Yes.
Scouts honor.
Scouts honor.
Scouts
To
honor.
answer your question, John, no,
Scouts honor.
the Grizzly is not an island barrel.
Good call.
All right. So I watched the video that you guys filmed with me interviewing. There was a lot cut out because there was a lot more Ryan roasting in that video. I'm a little
Yes.
upset.
We had to spare Ryan's feelings a little bit.
Here, so here's I have to say it now because here's one of my favorite memories with you guys. We were at Goals last year, and Ryan was wearing his shirt, and I think you guys were like filming something. And I walked up and I'm like, "Hey, look, it's the Boy Scouts of America." I didn't know they were here. And
That was in our video too.
It was a wonderful.
I think
It was
that's
in our
our-
video. Yeah, it was funny. And then Lee Snow said that Dave was the guy from Up, which made me almost pee my pants.
Oh, and we promise Lee will actually come in the front door this time and will not sneak into
Break
your
in
yeah,
through,
and not break in through your convention.
Through the loading dock.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he signed up already.
He signed up.
Yeah, I saw that. So listen, so this year,
they're tightening up security.
so I sent an email to all the vendors yesterday and I was like, "Hey guys, by the way, in your exhibitor kit that you've had for like 2 months now, that you haven't read because none of them can read. I was like, guys, listen, by the way, the dock is closed Friday. You have to be moved in by 7:00 on Thursday." And I got 4 emails from somebody going, "Hey, I was planning on moving in Friday because the show doesn't start till Saturday, according to the website." I'm like, if you read all the stuff I've sent you over the last 5 months, the show starts Friday to hang out.
Wow.
John, we got a question in the chat for you.
They probably
It
went to
says, John, what's the best way to get into the frontline fight for 2A, not just with memberships and subscriptions? Do I have to become a lawyer first?
No, you don't have to become a lawyer. The best thing to do is contact your senator and work on contacting your senator and congressman. Go to lobby days, and also in your state, go to your state lobby days. They will be posted by the either us or any of the local firearms groups that are there. You can also just email our people, and our state and local team will tell you when the lobby day is, and just build a community around you and take that community and get activated. Go and talk about the Second Amendment to people and be polite. Like, and that's the big thing that I always say to people. We always want to butt heads and fight, but we have to be polite and come in with a conversation, because the other side's not going to listen to you. They already have their mind set up. But if you can change a mind, it's always a big thing. But get together as a community. Go do Second Amendment things. Go shoot guns. Go do things. Go build up as a community, and then start using that grassroots effort to expand that community. Get out there, and then take that group of folks that you've built and go to your state capitol, and when they have 2A lobby days, and go, "Hey, this is what we want to fight for," or get involved in your local politicians. And the big thing really is just contact your senators and congressmen. If you go to our website, gunowners.org, you can go on and there's a form letter. It takes 30 seconds to fill out. We've tested it. We've done it. 30 seconds. It's already pre-filled for you. If you don't want to write anything in there, and it'll pull up your senator or congressman. You just put your name on it and they'll send it straight to their office. And that is the biggest things you can do to kind of get into the 2A fight and be in the front line.
Pat, I don't think you could have got a better answer than that.
Yeah.
You might have to come back
There's
and
a
rewatch it.
question in the comments that I'd like to bring up. So he says, buy a suppressor now or wait till January. What do you think, John?
Listen, I'm going to be wholeheartedly open with everybody. You can go wait until January for the $0 tax stamps, but this summer as an industry has been bad, really bad. And if you don't go support your local FFLs like these two fine folks right here, we may lose our local FFLs due to the downturn. We as a community, we are very fear-monger driven. And I know not everybody has a ton of money to spend, but go out and support your local FFLs. Go support the companies. Come to Goals to go support them, because showing that buying their products as time goes on and going to your local FFL dealer to buy products keeps our industry alive. The guys here, and I'm going to say this is not me kissing their butt. The guys who are behind the gun counter, the local brick and mortar FFLs, are the lifeblood of this industry. Without them, you guys can't get the stuff you want. Okay. And I get you could save a couple bucks and order it online and have it shipped in and they get their transfer fees and all that stuff. But if you buy direct from them, spend the extra couple bucks because that goes a long way. Because we've seen it when the Biden administration did their zero tolerance policy, and I know you guys were, worried about that. When they did it, think about this: there are rural communities out there where an FFL could shut down, and then there's nobody for an hour, 2 hours to go get firearms and ammunition from. Like, go support your local brick and mortars. That's a big
John,
thing.
I'm
Well,
so
PSA has it
glad
cheaper.
you said that because we've had an extreme drop in sales ever since the big beautiful bill was announced, and especially in suppressor sales. All throughout the holidays and in January, we had amazing suppressor sales, and then word that the tax stamp was going away and that they were going to be pulled off the NFA came around, and everybody put a halt to their spending on those types of items, and we literally stocked up on that kind of stuff for our customers, and we're sitting here on it. And now people are talking about waiting until January to make their suppressor purchase. Is $200 really going to make that much of a difference? I mean, go ahead and enjoy your suppressor now. That's my philosophy, and we've got them in stock. When that tax stamp goes away, sales are probably going to explode, but then the problem is going to be you're not going to be able to get a suppressor because the sales are going to be so high. I'm so glad you said that because we are hurting. The industry as in general is way down right now, and it has been a struggle ever since February up till now. Every month to pay our bills, make payroll, because we just don't have the customers coming in the door. We're a custom shop, so we do custom paint jobs, laser engraving, modifications, stippling, that kind of stuff. We've seen a huge drop in our services, and those are kind of what keep us alive. And I'm so glad you brought that up and are advocating for people to support your local FFLs because you can go buy stuff online and you'll probably get it cheaper, but we'll actually help you with the stuff you buy from our shop. If you have a problem with it, you come back here, you can guarantee that we're not going to turn you away. We're going to try to find a way to help you, and that's kind of a downside to buying online because then you got to deal with somebody from the Philippines on a call center, as opposed to being able to talk to somebody like one of us who's knowledgeable on the subject.
Yeah, and here's what I'll say. I understand that there's people saying, I see the comment here, tax stamp equals federal registration. I don't disagree with that. And as GOA, we're no compromise, and we wanted them completely removed from the NFA, and hence why we have sued on behalf of our members and on behalf of the 2A community with a bunch of other companies and organizations to remove them from the NFA. A lot of the companies are offering $0 or $200 rebates for the tax stamp. But the big thing, guys, you don't want these. If you let the local FFLs die, it's not great. It's not going to be good for the community. It's bad for the community. I understand, this and that, and it doesn't have to be. I'm going to break the fourth wall, and you guys can yell at me later when I break the fourth wall. Guys, firearms prices margins are absolutely nothing. Okay, complete nothing. Go in there and like go in there and if not buy a firearm, buy a t-shirt, buy a hat, buy ammo, buy whatever. Just go in there and go spend some time with them and get some stuff. And because if we lose our FFLs, we could lose a lot of the industry. And I know, me personally, I do not like shopping at big box retailers for that reason.
And the only thing that's going to happen too is if your local FFL decides that the only way they're making business off of transfers, your transfer fees can be $100 pretty damn soon, because $20 here and there is just not going to cut it. So
Right.
pretty soon it's going to be 50 to 100 for every FFL, just so they can make money, because PSA has it cheaper, or I got it on Gunbroker or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep. Another comment in the or another
Mr. Lee Snow.
topic in the hey Lee, no, he was saying tax stamp equals federal registration. Why wouldn't you want to avoid that? Hey, listen, I think you're misinformed. It's $200 that's being waived, but you still have to submit your fingerprints, you still have to submit your photo, you still have to fill out the paperwork, and you still have to wait for your approval. It doesn't mean no registration. Your item is going to be registered.
Yeah, at least until GOA sues and gets it completely removed.
Yeah, we're it's the lawsuit's out right now, so we'll hopefully have it. I don't have a timeline, so I'm not magic, but don't wait. Get your suppressor. Hopefully, we've been working with the admin and Congress and the Senate to try to bump up the timeline on this, so that way it goes bumped up further. But as far as I know, it was 90 days from the last quarter, correct? If I'm wrong. So the day is technically January 1 as of right now, but we're working on getting that pushed up further.
Nice. John, I don't know if you can talk about it at all, maybe other than just from your opinion standpoint, but there were companies out there that didn't want to see this bill go through. It seemed like they were sabotaging it, or definitely did not want to see the bill passed. Why? I didn't really understand that. If they were in this industry, and why they, what's the benefit if like that $200 tax stamp goes to the government, it's not going into their pocket. So what? Like, I can't see the advantage of them not wanting anything to change from the way that it was.
Okay, not to name names, because I won't, because I don't like starting the pot that much. But we know who it is. The company in question's largest inventory or largest income source was through paperwork. So hence they wanted to keep it around because they get the money from all the paperwork.
Right.
So that they were pushing for the $0 tax stamp, which we ended up. And again, I want to make this very clear from the GOA side. That was a gut punch. There was nothing that we wanted to do. We weren't ready for that. It was a gut punch. We had everything from our friends in the Senate were so for it, and everything was good. We had the votes. The parliamentarian screwed it up, and seeing that the pressure from the administration to push, but that was a total gut punch. It is not what we wanted, but we got a small victory with the tax code. Like I said early on in the show, for people who are just now tuning in, now that it is no longer a tax issue, it is now a moot point that we can now sue on it, because we couldn't sue because it was a tax issue. Kevin, it was not them. He was just coming. They actually are on our lawsuit against the tax stamp right now. They just filed the lawsuit with the ASA, us, and Palmetto to go against the tax stamp, or against the NFA as a whole.
Nate, I don't know if you see Owen's comment in there. From your guys' standpoint, would the effect of removing the NFA affect your class of license?
It would.
Yeah.
It would. For example, one of our staple services here is NFA engraving. That NFA engraving would go away. That's a big part of our business, but that's something we're totally okay with.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that.
To get our rights back.
Yeah, get rid of
it. We'll find another way to make money off laser engraving. For us, that's totally okay. I'm totally fine as a SOT to not have to pay $500 every July just to be able to sell suppressors.
Pay to play.
Yeah. It would affect us, but not in a negative way.
Right. And for us, because we don't, the funny thing is I was legitimately looking at adding the SOT to our license. And then all of this came about, and I said, I'm just going to hold off. Because it wasn't just about the $500, because that's not a lot, but I'm still investing in other equipment. I'm investing in the time for training. And for me, I was like, I'll just hold off, because if it just ends up being on a 4473, then I don't have to change anything that I'm doing.
That's a great point, Dave. This past year, we spent about $3,600 on a fingerprint scanner,
new computer,
software, and all of that, a camera, even a pull down white background to reproduce passport photos, so that we could offer that as a free service to our customers who buy suppressors from us here at the shop. So we help make their paperwork seamless. We basically lead them along the way and help them get all of that done. Whereas if you were to go out and do that on your own, you'd have to go to Walgreens to get your photos, go to the sheriff's department to get your fingerprints done. Then you have to send all of that in, and it takes longer when you do your registration by mail. We were offering all of that online right here at the shop when you buy your suppressor, and then all you have to do is wait for us to call you to tell you that your suppressor is ready to pick up. And we saw a great turnaround ever since we've gotten the wonderful President Trump back. We've seen a huge turnaround in wait times, whereas it used to be 10 to 13 months waiting on your suppressor. We've literally seen them less than 24 hours and as long as 2 weeks, but not really anything over 3 weeks. Unless you have something negative in your background. So selling suppressors has been a huge benefit for us since Trump came into office. We've had a lot of suppressor sales, and it really helped the shop here. Plus, shooting suppressors is way more fun, in my opinion. Everybody should have suppressors for their guns.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Rod, thanks for loving our shorts. I just wanted to touch base here real quick on another comment. So Infante Ultrasonics sounds like a fun show this year. I wish we were able to make it. Hopefully we'll be able to make it next year. So John, I gave him your info. Infante Ultrasonics is that, if anybody's watched our videos, is that gigantic stainless steel, looks like a deep fryer ultrasonic cleaner that we've had on our desk here for the last few weeks. Phenomenal product.
Hey, we need one here at the shop.
I just want to say that short where Dave comes in with a freaking shopping cart had me freaking dying. That was the best thing I've ever freaking seen. The Diddy sauce on it was amazing.
Thank you.
I died. I almost crashed my car because I felt like going down the road.
If I'm not mistaken, if I'm remembering it right, I think we ended up getting age restricted on that video.
Yeah, so stupid.
Yeah. So that was headed viral.
The funny thing is somebody asked me, I think it was either today or yesterday, if it's really worth getting something that extra. And I have had my hand up to my wrist in the one you can get from Harbor Freight that, it does the job. I can't get past the first line of knuckles in that Infante, and I feel that stuff in my soul. Like, it's such a disconcerting feeling. And it was just like, I'm going to turn that off before I stick my hand back in there.
Yeah.
Because I was more like using the other one where I could move parts and manipulate them so they'd start like not be pushed up against something. But that one, no sir, I am good. I am getting a set of tongs. I'm not putting my hand in there again.
Like a real deep fryer.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
felt it in my head, like if my teeth felt like they're vibrating, and it was just like, ooh, okay, that is wildly uncomfortable. So yeah, there is a big difference between that and other sonic cleaners that I've used in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. They're
I mean,
phenomenal.
you could see it in the video as soon as you drop the guns in, how it was pushing out oils and debris and all kinds of stuff. That was an awesome demonstration of their product.
It turned just the I don't know how many guns we had in there. It was three or four
guns in a slide.
We had 3 guns in a slide in there, and it turned that water black.
Yeah,
like it really removed everything. It did an amazing job.
That water was grimier than that water out in the back of the creek at that Airbnb you guys stayed at last year.
That's awesome.
Oh man, I'm just trying to get caught up on the comments here real quick. Let's see. Do those damage the finish? Can you use them on all gun parts?
Yeah, it will 100% damage a finish. Like certain coatings, like
Hydro dip.
I don't. Yeah.
Rattle can.
Yeah, hydro dip will not hold up to that cleaner at all. Like it bleached it out, and certain coatings won't hold up either. Like I think gun coat won't hold up. Rattle can will not hold up.
In fact, everybody kind of stay tuned. We're just waiting on just a couple of small parts from Infante, and we're going to do a live video with them, and we're going to have a fresh batch of Sonic Tonic in there, and then we'll be able to show everybody exactly how those things work. So we'll do a live video with those guys.
Yeah, my AK-47 with the binary trigger in. Well, I'm sorry, with the reflex trigger in it. Is I've got about 80 rounds through it, and I'm working on getting her good and filthy, and then doing a couple parts from that in there because that will really show you what it does.
It looks like Owen wasn't really paying attention to the conversation.
I don't think he was.
He kind of picks and chooses what he wants to listen to. Hey, Owen, go back and watch what we talked about earlier because I don't even want to repeat it to your dumb ass.
Jeez. Let's see. Nicholas Pugh from Cave City, Arkansas. I hope you're following Foxtrotter on YouTube. He's from Arkansas.
That's probably his cousin.
Probably. What do you think of 9mm revolvers? I have one sitting in my case, in my showcase, that's been there for like a year. Screw those things. Unless you want one, come buy it. Call us up. I could sell you one right now. Let's see. Question for John: if the lawsuit works, would registration of the items included go away?
Yes. Yeah. If the lawsuit works, the registration of the items would go away. But we're looking realistically to get it to the Supreme Court. We're looking at probably 2 years and probably $2.5 million to get this across the finish line. So.
And I'm wondering if he kind of means like retroactively also. Like, do you think that eliminates everything?
They would have to. They would have to. If it was on the list, the NFA being away, they would have to destroy the records. And I think that's in our lawsuit. They would have to destroy all the records.
Isn't it in front of the Supreme Court already with some of the other lawsuits going on with suppressors and getting them off the NFA? I know the ATF was arguing the tax stamp side, but now that that's gone, I know the DOJ backed off on a couple or changed their position, and now those ones that are already on the docket should still remain.
They should still remain on the docket. I'm not sure because I know our lawsuit is new, so I don't know. I'm just talking from our lawsuit standpoint, but they're the ones that were already in there. I know that the lower courts just changed their ruling that suppressors are now, in fact, protected by the Second Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not the smartest man, and I don't claim to be. I try to keep up with it. I call the Fed guys once a week, and I'm like, "Hey, what's going on? The world's on fire, and we've been up for 48 hours. What do you want?" And I'm like, "Sorry."
I may not be a smart man.
There was another question I saw. I can't figure. How do you scroll on this one? This is different than what I'm used to.
I don't know that you can.
Somebody was asking about machine guns.
Oh, I think that was a way back.
Oh yeah, I think it was part of the same question. Like, if the NFA does go away, does that also count with machine guns, or is it just suppressors or AOWs?
Just suppressors and AOWs. It's just the HPA and the Short Act. Machine guns, we tried. This is not happening because it's going to take an act of Congress, because the way the machine gun, the Hughes Amendment was written, it takes an act of Congress to remove it. So we'd have to fight through Congress. But in all honesty, we will fight for it, but I doubt we'll get it within the next, at least within my lifetime.
See, so Kevin asked, with the new Supreme Court ruling on the nationwide injunctions, how would this lawsuit work prior to it reaching to the Supreme Court? Can we get circuit relief?
I don't believe so on this one. I'd have to talk. I'm not a lawyer, and I don't claim to be one. I'm not a federal affairs guy. I'd have to look into that. I don't believe we can on this one. It'd have to go through all the way. Because, I mean, the example of that would be like the Texas suppressor manufacturing laws, that, yes, technically suppressor manufacturing in Texas does not fall under the NFA per state law, but since suppressors are federally regulated, the federal law outweighs the state law. And yes, I know I closed my eyes. It's me trying to think. I've been up since 3 a.m., homie. My flight got canceled yesterday, and I had to be up at 3 a.m. It's me trying to think.
John's tired, y'all. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
Well, and again, John, we really appreciate you joining us today. So we won't keep you too much longer.
Dude,
I think
I'm so wired on caffeine and nicotine. I could be here for a while.
Okay. Well, keep the questions coming in, because we'll start wrapping it up here in just a few minutes. We're a little over an hour.
I saw one of the KCI boys hop in here.
Did you really?
Yeah, Wendigo is one of, it's not Keebler, that's Seth, yeah.
I didn't see that. I'm going to look in just a second. But Lefty, Nate's good customer. Can we know in advance when you will do the live Sonic Dip to plan to watch it? Yes, we will. I will do an announcement, kind of like what we did with this live today. We'll post it. We'll let you know. So just make sure you're following. Really, the only way you can know about it is if you're following our other socials. So, Facebook, Instagram. I put it on the community posts here on YouTube, but I don't know how well it gets seen. Oh, there he is. He said, so if I want a full rattle can reset. Oh, so like throw it in the ultrasonic cleaner, and it'll just strip all the rattle can. Yeah, I mean that sound logic, right, Dustin?
I don't know, man. When my knuckle hit,
You know why most
I don't think
rattle
anything's
can
going to hold
jobs don't
that
last?
sonic cleaner if you put it in there long enough.
Most rattle cans jobs don't last because people don't actually fully disassemble the gun and prep it and degrease it. They go paint over the existing coating. And so if you do put it in something like an ultrasonic cleaner that's going to heat up, it's going to push all the oils out that have soaked into the metal and get underneath that paint job you put over the original paint job and just push it off. If you actually completely disassembled your firearm, degreased it, and sandblasted it before doing your rattle can job, it would probably last.
What do you mean? That's extra steps. I thought you just spray it and go full send.
I know. Well, when people say don't get your gun painted professionally, just rattle can it. We can give you the rattle can look and it'll last forever. as opposed to doing it every 2 weeks after your airsoft matches.
Nicholas Poe.
Pew.
Pew.
It's he's a revolver guy.
Yeah, he says he's looking at a judge. So what's y'all's take on also? What's y'all's take also on the tourist judge? I carry one frequently. like when I have somebody else up in the front of the store with me, like throughout the whole day, I will 100% carry my judge with some critical defense in that bitch. I wore it once as a trope just to be an ass, and like everyone loved it. So I started carrying it every day when I was working with Isaiah, and that thing is on me probably 75% of the time I'm in the yard, because that thing will tear up a ground squirrel quick. But I like them.
You also carry a 22.
Yeah. I just set the world on fire. You carry a 22 that doesn't have stopping power. Let me put it in your left eye socket, son, and see how that works out for you.
We can actually put the world on fire. We have a flamethrower.
So do we. Ours has a backpack. What?
A flamethrower is not a firearm, right? You can hold that in front of a camera. Right?
No, son. It's a farm tool. That is a farm tool that will take care of dry weeds, rodents, insects in snow.
Wait, am I the only one without a flamethrower? This is dang it.
I think you might be, John.
If you want one, let us know. We'll hook it up.
I need one here.
Yeah, John, we gotta get you some brand deals going. We gotta put you in contact with the right vendors.
Yep. We the other day we had a bunch of local sheriff's deputies in the parking lot eating lunch, and we took our flamethrower out there and impressed the hell out of them.
Oh, do I have a story for you guys? This is gonna make you all laugh. So I got a phone call about a month ago from a guy who wanted to be a vendor at Goals, and he goes, "Hey man, we're a body armor company." And I'm like, "Cool, we'd love to have you here at the show. We want to do live demonstrations on the show floor." And I'm like, "Well, what, like stabbing the armor? Like, what are you thinking?" "No, we want to shoot people on the show floor with our." I'm like, "No,
Get out.
no, what?"
Wow.
And then he follows us up. "Oh, it's because we don't have our NIJ certification on our armor yet, so we want to show that it actually works."
What?
You're lying.
Have you ever heard of a ballistic dummy, bro?
For real.
Oh my god.
Wow.
And I'm sitting here thinking I can name 3 people off the top of my head, and probably 5 if I sit long enough and think about it, that would immediately volunteer to get shot.
Yes.
And I'm sitting here going, no, it's slipping through and tearing up a chubby bastard is going to be me. That is a fact.
Yeah.
Like the universe will part the seams and I will get hit.
I would never ever take that chance.
Robert Johnson. We have a bunch of them sitting here right now.
Yeah, how hard or how rare is it to come by a 12 gauge lever action? Look up here.
Oh, yeah.
Above Dustin.
Right there.
Where's her finger? Where's
Right
the
there.
finger?
I don't know. It's over there.
Oh,
It's under the. Can't touch any guns.
get the finger.
I think they're just trying to trick you into touching a gun.
Yeah, I think so too.
We learned our lesson.
Right here. See, this is the lever area.
This is the lever area. Wow.
That's funny.
Fred,
Well,
with no
let's see,
retro
does
rifle
anybody
shirts
else have
today?
any additional questions for John or Dave or I?
We're not wearing retro rifle shirts today. I'm wearing a Savtac shirt
Did
today.
you go get my
Dustin's got an axe shirt.
Yeah.
Hey, I do love retro rifle, and recently I saw that they had this new badass design that just came out, and it's like a graffiti design. So I'm pretty sure I'm the first one that bought one.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Isn't that dope?
No, what's dope is those tags. You guys know those tags on those shirts are stickers, right?
They're not stickers.
No, the tag.
Is that a retro rifle shirt?
Oh no, yeah, the actual tag. Yeah, this is a sticker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a sticker. Yeah. Yeah, I thought this was pretty dope, so I bought one. So you'll probably see this in a video soon.
I could not pull that off, my friend, unless they paid me to pull it off, and then I'd sleep in that bitch. But, I couldn't pull them colors off. I'd draw too much attention just being that done. So,
Well, it's my brown skin that helps.
well, you're a flamboyant person to begin with, so.
All right.
Well, good deal. Well, I think we can start wrapping it up. John, is there anything else you want to say or cover about the convention coming up?
Come to Goals, August 9th and 10th in beautiful Knoxville, Tennessee. Bring your family, bring your friends. Come see these hooligans. It's free to all GOA members or $25 at the door. So why not?
Gonna make you into Wilson again. Just drop the link into the chat. So if anybody's interested in signing up for Goals, hit up that link that I just dropped in the chat there. It's one of the best events you could attend this year, for sure, hands down.
Hands down.
Hey, look, Nicholas just asked,
Nicholas,
have y'all had any Halo paint jobs for guns yet, as in the game series?
well,
it's funny that you say that.
There might be a video coming out.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Where is it? Where is it?
It's over there, but you gotta watch the video.
Okay, if you don't subscribe to our Instagram, subscribe to our Instagram. It's king.of.camo. In about 5 minutes, I'm going to post a video of our latest paint job, Halo themed.
Yes, sir.
Want that ice cream paint job, son?
Oh, goodness. I think Rick said, are you still going to need the Hearing Protection Act with this lawsuit? Well, the Hearing Protection Act set up the lawsuit. So it's like a alley-oop.
Nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
Erwin,
If anybody wants to see me and John, we'll be on our OnlyFans later tonight. So, check that out.
Yeah, the last time you said that, you got crayon spit in a box, bro.
Oh. Hey, don't start
Isn't
that.
that the truth?
Don't give people ideas.
You know how when we told him he spit the crayon in the box? No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Oh, we sure did.
Made him go back and watch that video.
Sure did.
All right. Well, boys, what do you think? Should we call it?
Yep.
We'll see you fellers in Knoxville.
All right, everybody. Make sure you go follow John at the State of the Second podcast. And I was going to make him Wilson again. State of the Second podcast and Fully Loaded Reviews. Make sure you're following John. He's the best. And John, we look forward to seeing you in Knoxville on the 7th of August.
Yes, I'll see you guys on this. I'm actually going to be in Knoxville from the 2nd till the 13th. I've got a whole long time I got to be there. But I will see you guys there. I'm making this a mandatory. Ryan's not allowed in the convention center without the Boy Scout shirt, or we're going to have to do a ceremony to retire it.
Yeah.
Oh, ceremony to retire the shirt. I understand.
Well, we should have some new ones made for the convention.
Can we?
Hey, we'll make a deal with Ryan. If he wears the Boy Scout shirt, he gets to wear the Ranger panties.
Boom.
Deal. I'll take that. You can only wear the Ranger panties at range day because none of the general public wants to see that. And as long as he's not bouncing around on the show floor holding up a sign, oh, you missed that. Holding up a sign saying, looking for my future husband, I think we'll be all right.
Ryan did that?
No, somebody else did that last year.
Ooh. Oh, that's funny. All right, guys. Y'all stay safe, be good, and God bless. We'll see you on the next one.
All right. Thanks a lot,
Team
John.
6 out.